Hey friends, in today's video on trading psychology, I'm going to share something truly important with you. A message that dives into the dark side of trading, the part most traders ignore, but all of us feel. This isn't just theory. It's something I personally found incredibly valuable. And I believe if you're on this trading journey, you need to hear it too. So stay with me till the end. And if this connects with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's bring awareness to the mindset that actually shapes your success or silently destroys it. You see, trading isn't just about charts and strategies. It's a mental battlefield. Every day, traders are pulled by invisible forces: greed, fear, ego, overconfidence, revenge. And most of the time, these emotions win, not the trader. We chase trades we shouldn't. We double down on losses hoping to get even. We ignore our plans, convinced this time will be different. But here's the truth. It's not the market that beats us. It's us, our own mind. And unless we face this dark side, we'll keep repeating the same mistakes, no matter how good our system is. You're not losing because your strategy is broken. You're losing because deep down, you're at war with yourself. See, trading is unlike any other profession. Your biggest enemy? It's not the market. It's you. This isn't about entries. This isn't about indicators. This video won't give you a new setup or a better win rate. It's about the unseen battle inside your mind, the quiet war that rages in the background. Fear, addiction, self-doubt, emotional wounds you never knew were still bleeding. If you've ever blown an account you swore you'd protect, if you've ever broken rules you wrote for yourself, then this isn't just a video. It's a mirror. Now, close your eyes for a second. Picture this. It's 2:47 in the morning. The world outside is asleep. My wife is upstairs, resting peacefully, believing I'm downstairs building our future. My kids are tucked into their beds, dreaming quietly, unaware that I've just erased their entire college fund. The only light in the room? 6 glowing monitors, not lighting the way forward, but shining on the wreckage. Pixel by pixel, real-time destruction. Negative $2,137,431. No, that's not a typo. Not a demo account. Real money, gone. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. My hands had stopped shaking hours ago. I wasn't even human anymore, just a shell staring at numbers that didn't feel real, like I had slipped into someone else's nightmare and forgotten how to wake up. But here's what nobody talks about. I did everything right. I had discipline. I had a trading plan that looked like it was written for the military. I meditated. I journaled. I checked every box. And I still blew up. Twice. That's when I realized the system wasn't the problem. I was. Most trading advice tells you control your emotions, stick to the plan, be disciplined. And we believe it because it sounds logical, because it gives us a false sense of control. But no one ever told me this. Discipline isn't the answer. Discipline is the disguise. It's the mask you wear when you're running from your real self. Because the moment life pressures you, when the mortgage is due, when the bills are stacked high, when someone you love is sick and you need the trade to work, that disciplined trader, he vanishes, and someone else shows up. For me, it was the terrified husband, the desperate father, the man who bet everything on a single trade just to make the pain stop. That night, I finally understood what no trading book ever taught me. The market doesn't test your strategy. It reveals your identity. It rips away your logic, your plans, your fake calm, and puts you, the real you, on the screen. And here's the terrifying truth. Most traders don't even know who they are until it's too late. You think you're trading the market? No. You're trading yourself, your fears, your traumas, your deepest beliefs. And if you haven't healed what's broken inside, those wounds, they'll start making the trades for you. The market is just a mirror. Every trade reflects what you believe you deserve. And if, deep down, you believe you're unworthy, if you think money is dangerous or fleeting, you'll always find a way to give it back. I used to think the market was rigged, that I was just unlucky, that I needed better risk management. But the truth, the market was neutral. I was unstable. I wasn't ready to hold the thing I said I wanted. Losing $2 million wasn't failure. It was clarity. Because until that night, I had never actually met myself. I had met the trader version of me, the guy with goals and routines and clever tweets, the one quoting Sun Tzu in his trade journal. But under pressure, that version collapsed. And the real me, the broken, scared, unprepared version, took over. And the scariest part? That version was the one trading my account all along. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked back at a trade and thought, who the hell was I when I did that? Exactly. You're not one trader. You're many. There's the confident planner, the FOMO addict, the revenge seeker, the anxious gambler, and they're all fighting for control of your account. Monday morning, you're Warren Buffett. By Tuesday, you're spinning roulette. And by Friday, you're an emotional wreck. No wonder you're inconsistent. And the market? It doesn't care who shows up. It just reflects them back to you. So here's the hard truth. Until you confront the trader that shows up under pressure, until you face the version of you that gambles when the stakes get real, you'll keep repeating the same pain. The real enemy? It's not volatility. It's not news. It's not manipulation. It's that part of you that still thinks money will fix your emptiness. That night at 2:47 a.m., I lost everything. But I also found something more valuable than any win. I found the truth. And truth doesn't care about your ego. It doesn't care about how many followers you have or how perfect your charts look. It just wants one thing from you: to stop pretending, to stop performing discipline, and start confronting identity. So if you're still here, still listening, ask yourself, who's really trading your account? Because until you answer that question, no amount of strategy will save you. It gets darker before it gets lighter. But darkness, that's where the truth lives. And if you're willing to face it, that's also where transformation begins. I was preparing to end the illusion that I was in control, that I was disciplined, that I still had a chance. I was about to click buy, not because the setup made sense, but because I was done pretending. It wasn't even a trade anymore. It was a suicide note, a final act of surrender wrapped in the disguise of strategy. And here's the sick part. I felt relief. For the first time in weeks, I could actually breathe. Because once the account hit zero, at least the torture would stop. At least I wouldn't have to keep lying to myself. No more hoping, no more forcing, no more performing discipline I didn't feel. Rock bottom is strangely peaceful. When you've lost everything, you no longer fear losing. The war inside finally goes quiet, and that silence can feel like comfort. Most traders think they're trying to win. No, most traders are unconsciously trying to prove they deserve to lose. That's the heart of self-sabotage. Not clumsiness, not lack of skill, but a deep, unconscious commitment to their own destruction. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That revenge trade you told yourself was strategy? That was a cry for punishment. That FOMO entry you justified because it felt right? That was a desperate need to feel something. That stop loss you kept moving while whispering, the market's just being weird? That was self-harm dressed up as hope. You're not bad at trading. You're just very, very good at hurting yourself without realizing it. And let me say this with compassion. It's not your fault. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're wounded. And those wounds run deeper than trading. You didn't start sabotaging yourself last month or last year. You've been practicing self-destruction for decades. It started young. Maybe you watched your parents fight about money. Maybe you saw your mom put groceries back at the store with a fake smile. Maybe you saw your dad's face crumble when the credit card bill came in. You didn't understand economics then, but you absorbed the fear. And that fear became a script. Money is hard. Success is temporary. Struggle is noble. Suffering equals virtue. Fast forward 20 years, you're staring at a trading screen. A trade goes green too fast, and your subconscious whispers, "This is too easy. Something's wrong. You don't deserve this. Better give it back before life takes it from you." So you do. Not because you want to lose, but because losing feels familiar. And what's familiar feels safe. That's the trap. We don't sabotage because we hate success. We sabotage because success threatens the identity we've built around struggle. We're addicted to the pain we understand, because at least when we're in pain, we know who we are. And that's the darkest part of psychology. You can memorize every strategy, every system, every indicator. But until you face this truth, you'll keep burning accounts like offerings to your past. Here's the second law of trading psychology. Every blown stop loss is a suicide note from your past self. Think about that. Your stop loss isn't just a technical level. It's a mirror, a moment where the ghosts of your childhood show up and whisper, "See, you were never meant to have money. This is your fate. This is how it ends." But here's the truth. That voice isn't prophecy, it's programming. And programming can be rewritten, but not by downloading another spreadsheet, not by reading another book. It starts with one terrifying question. Why am I so committed to destroying myself? If you're brave enough to ask, if you're honest enough to face the version of you that keeps reaching for the flame, you'll discover something shocking. You've never been afraid of failure. You've been afraid of freedom. Because freedom means responsibility. Freedom means letting go of old pain. Freedom means saying, I deserve success. I deserve ease. I deserve to win. And for someone who was raised to believe that money is evil or that struggle is noble, that level of freedom feels unbearable. So you go back to the pain you know until you don't. Until one day, you decide, enough. You are not here to relive your trauma through candlestick charts. You are not here to punish yourself for the past. You are not here to prove that your parents were right when they said money ruins people. You are here to evolve, to trade with clarity, to succeed without guilt, to rewrite the script, not just in your trading journal, but in your entire life. So the next time you feel that old urge to click a trade you know you shouldn't, to chase a loss, to shrink in the face of profit, stop and ask yourself, am I trading right now? Or am I just reliving pain? Because once you see the difference, you'll never trade the same way again. And that's where the real work begins. If you've ever wondered why logic disappears the moment the candles turn red, it's time to meet the part of your brain that doesn't care about money, only survival. Have you ever looked back at a completely irrational trade and asked yourself, what the hell was I thinking? I'll tell you. You weren't thinking at all. You weren't trading from your plan or your strategy. You were trading from a part of your brain that doesn't care about logic or long-term success. It only cares about survival. You see, you don't have one brain, you have three, and all three are trading. Trader number one, the reptile, the oldest part of your brain, the brainstem, 500 million years old. It's fast, primitive, pure instinct. It knows one thing, fight, flight, or freeze. When a red candle drops hard, that reptile brain thinks it's a tiger lunging at your throat. Within fractions of a second, your amygdala fires. Cortisol floods your system, your heart races, your breath shortens, your vision narrows. And worst of all, blood literally drains away from your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain where your trading plan lives. You're no longer trading with logic. You're trading with the IQ of a cornered lizard. Trader number two, the mammal, the emotional brain. It remembers every feeling you've had in the markets. It craves pleasure, avoids pain, and is obsessed with status and social approval. This is the brain that makes you chase green days. That gets euphoric after a win. That panics when you're down 5% and wants to get it back before anyone finds out. The mammal brain treats trading like tribal warfare. Every win is a badge of honor. Every loss is a threat to your identity. Trader number three, the human, the logical, strategic part, the part that writes the rules, designs the system, and journals diligently. This is the brain you think is trading, but the tragedy of trading is this. When the heat is on, this human brain is the first to shut down, because when your body thinks it's under attack, it locks the human out and lets the reptile take the wheel. And that's why you can't stay disciplined. You're trying to outthink a system that reacts before thought even begins. No amount of affirmations, motivational quotes, or fancy backtests can override 500 million years of evolutionary wiring. When your account goes red, your brain doesn't see a dip, it sees death. That's why most traders fail. Not because they're stupid, not because their system sucks, but because they haven't trained the only part of themselves that actually pulls the trigger under pressure. The reptile doesn't read trading books. It doesn't watch webinars. It doesn't care about your risk to reward ratio. It only responds to one thing: conditioning. That's why cold showers work. That's why breath work matters. Because emotional resilience isn't optional. It's foundational. Your trading results don't come from your best days. They come from your worst ones. And on your worst day, the only trader present is your reptile. Let me give you an example. I had a routine. Every morning at 4:47 a.m., I'd step into an ice-cold shower, not for wellness, not for social media likes, but to train the most powerful trader in my mind. At second 15, panic. At second 30, resistance. At second 45, surrender. At second 60, power. By the time I reached my trading desk, my body had already faced the worst stress it would experience that day. A red candle can't scare someone who chose hypothermia before sunrise. That's not motivation. That's biology. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you're trying to fix your trading by downloading more PDFs, memorizing more chart patterns, or binge watching more strategy videos, you're solving the wrong problem. The reptile doesn't speak strategy. It speaks sensation. If you don't train your body to stay calm under threat, you'll keep trading from fear, and fear will keep finding ways to empty your account. But here's the good news. The reptile can be trained. The mammal can be soothed. The human can lead if you create the conditions. Start your day with stress you choose. Ice, silence, stillness, intention. Then, when the stress you don't choose shows up, the losing streak, the fake out, the margin call, you won't collapse. You'll breathe. You'll wait. You'll execute. Not as a lizard, not as a scared child, but as a calm, clear, sovereign human, the trader you were always meant to be. Even if you've mastered your fear, there's still one enemy left, and this one doesn't look like a threat. This one smiles at you. This one whispers, "You've made it." It's not failure you should fear. It's success. Let me explain. Most traders obsess over losing. They study losses, avoid losses, hate losses. But losses humble you. Losses make you cautious. Losses remind you the market doesn't care how smart you think you are. Success does the opposite. It flatters you. It seduces you. It convinces you that the rules don't apply anymore. And that's when it begins, the downfall. Let me tell you a story. Marcus, former military, disciplined, precise. 4 a.m. wake-ups, hospital corners on his bedsheets. The guy treated trading like a mission. 2 years, he built a system, back-tested every setup, journaled like a monk, paper traded until his wrist hurt. Then it clicked. 8 months in, he made 120 grand, first six-figure win. He called me, crying. "I did it, man. I finally did it. I'm a trader now." 6 months later, another call. Broken voice. "I lost it all, and I owe my broker 30 grand. Same system, same market, different Marcus." What changed? Not the strategy, not the market conditions. He changed. Success had done what failure never could. It corrupted him. See, success doesn't shout. It whispers. You've arrived. You're different. You've got the magic now. And that's the moment discipline dies. You stop following your system. You stop asking questions. You stop respecting the market. You start thinking, "I deserve to win. I can trust my gut now. I already know what's going to happen." And that's when the market shows you the truth. In 2019, I made $500,000. In 2020, I lost $1.2 million. Same strategy, same trader. But I wasn't a student anymore. I was a prophet in my own mind. I didn't adapt. I predicted. I stopped respecting the process. And I started believing in magic. The market didn't punish me for being wrong. It punished me for thinking I couldn't be. So now, after every winning month, I do something that most traders think is insane. I practice losing. I open a SIM account, and I take 10 horrible trades on purpose. Not to study, not to test setups, to feel the sting again, to remember the pain. Because pain is honest. It reminds my ego, you are not special. You are not the market. You are just a person following a system. Let me offer you something that might just save you. The humility protocol. After your next winning week, write this. Overconfidence leads to overtrading. FOMO after a green week causes dumb entries. Skipping journaling blinds me to patterns. Thinking I'm hot? Punishment incoming. Name the traps before you fall into them, because the most dangerous trader in the room is not the one losing. It's the one who just had his best month ever. Success is not the reward. It's the next test. If you don't meet it with the same humility you met failure, you will lose everything. Now, let me ask you something deeper. What if success wasn't even the real problem? What if you're not trading for money at all? What if you're chasing the high? They say trading is a profession, a path to financial freedom, a skill. But for most people, trading is a drug, not metaphorically, biologically. Here's the science. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical. It's the desire chemical. It doesn't fire when you get the reward. It fires when you think one might be coming. And you know what triggers dopamine the most? Uncertainty. And what's the most uncertain game on earth? Trading. Every trade you take, every time that candle twitches, your brain lights up like you just pulled a slot machine. And it doesn't even matter if you win. It only matters that something might happen. That feeling when price is about to touch your TP, that rush when news is about to drop, that sick pit in your stomach when the chart moves too fast, that's not your strategy. That's your addiction. Want to know how I knew I was hooked? 3:17 a.m. I wasn't in a trade, but I woke up, no alarm. I just knew. The market was open, Asian session. I grabbed my phone, just checking. USD had moved 30 pips, no setup, no entry. But my heart was pounding. Not from fear, not from greed, from possibility. Maybe I was missing something. 4:45 a.m., still watching. My wife stirred. You okay? She mumbled. Yeah. Bathroom, I said. Bathroom? I took the phone with me. 6 a.m., still awake, still glued, still high. I stopped caring about sleep, about food, about my family. Charts became my comfort zone. Candlesticks, my language. The market became my only relationship that made sense. Not because I loved it, because I was using it. We don't talk about this in trading circles. We call it passion, hustle, dedication to the craft. But let's call it what it really is. Addiction. Gambling in a spreadsheet. A dopamine loop wrapped in candlesticks. You ever check charts when the market's closed? Feel restless during holidays? Open a random trade just to feel something? You're not trading. You're scratching an itch. And when you're hooked on dopamine, peace feels like death. So you keep trading. Keep tweaking. Keep chasing. Pretending it's strategy when it's just survival in disguise. But what happens when the charts go quiet? Day 1, hands shaking. Day 2, panic attacks. Day 3, you tell yourself you're just out of sync. But really, you're in withdrawal. Day 3, I was dreaming of candlesticks. Day 5, I was angry at everything. Myself, the charts, the world. Day 7, my wife looked at me and said something I hadn't heard in years. You look different. Day 10, for the first time in forever, I felt something I couldn't explain. Not motivation, not excitement, clarity, stillness. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't a trader. I was a junkie, a dopamine addict dressed in the uniform of a professional. And the worst part, the market didn't care. It never does. So what do? You detox, deliberately, systematically. Because quitting cold turkey, it never works. You can't just delete MetaTrader and pretend you're healed. You have to rebuild your brain. The dopamine detox protocol, week 1, no phone in the bedroom, alarm clock across the room, first urge to check the market, drop and give me 20 push-ups, not negotiable. Week 2, charts only during market hours. After hours, that's for your body. Go to the gym, take a walk, be with your family. Weekends, the market doesn't exist. Week 3, only check trades 3 times a day. Set alerts, ignore the rest. Treat charts like medicine, prescribe doses only. Week 4, trading becomes a reward, not a right. Morning workout equals earned access to the charts. No workout, no trading. Period. This isn't punishment. This is repair. Recalibration. Because you can't trade from clarity when your brain is hijacked by stimulation. You don't need more discipline. You need more space. From noise, from urgency, from the itch to chase something that was never running. And when you finally give yourself that space, you start to see the market for what it really is. Not a game, not a god, not a savior, just a place where patterns meet behavior, where your mindset writes the story, not the price. Let me ask you something. Can you go 48 hours without checking a chart? If not, you're not trading, you're using. And the market, it's not your partner, it's your dealer. But addiction, that's just the surface. The real question is deeper. Why do you need to escape in the first place? Let me offer something wild, something that might sound insane at first. The market doesn't exist. I'm serious. That thing you obsess over, the charts, the candles, the green and red, it's just light. Pixels. Data on a screen. Completely neutral until you look at it. And the second you do, it becomes something else. A mirror. The market doesn't show you the truth. It shows you you. I've done this experiment with hundreds of traders. Same chart, same time frame, same candle. 10 traders in 10 rooms. One question. What do you see? Trader 1, looks like a bull trap, it's about to dump. Trader 2, breakout incoming, it's finally gonna fly. Trader 3, manipulation, market makers hunting stops again. Trader 4, it's consolidating, I'm waiting. Same data, 4 different realities. Why? Because no one's really seeing the market. They're seeing their psychology, projected like a film onto the screen. Fear sees danger, greed sees opportunity. Anger sees manipulation, desperation sees salvation. The chart is math. You are the story, and the story you carry changes everything. You try to beat the market. You compare yourself to others. You chase milestones. $100 a day, $1,000 a week, 6 figures a year. But here's the truth no one tells you. Every finite game ends, and most end in burnout. Because when your identity is tied to results, you're always just one losing streak away from collapse. One bad trade from questioning your worth. One red day from unraveling everything. But the infinite game, that's different. It's not played to win once. It's played to keep playing, to evolve, to transform. In the infinite game, success isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in depth. In how calm you remained when the storm hit. In how consciously you responded when fear crept in. In how much more you understand yourself compared to last month, last year. Every trade becomes feedback. Every emotion, a signal. Every trigger, a doorway to something deeper. You stop asking, how do I win more? And start asking, what is this moment trying to teach me? Who am I becoming through this process? Am I aligned or am I chasing again? You begin to trade less but feel more. You size down but think bigger. You lose the thrill but gain the peace. And then one day you wake up, not obsessed, but present. Not detached from care, but detached from chaos. Because you finally get it. The outcome was never the reward. You are. That's the shift. You stop trading to fix your life. You start trading to meet yourself, to sharpen your edge, to quiet the noise, to return to stillness again and again. And from that stillness comes clarity, confidence, consistency. You don't need to prove anything anymore, not to Twitter, not to friends, not even to yourself. Because now you know, I'm not playing to win, I'm playing to grow, and I'll still be here, long after the others burn out. So if you've been asking, when will I make it? Maybe the real question is, who do I need to become so that making it becomes inevitable? And that answer, it's not in the charts, not in the indicators, not in some YouTuber strategy. It's in the mirror. And if you've been paying attention, you've already been looking at it this whole time. This is the infinite game. No final boss, no finish line, no fireworks, just the next breath, the next moment of awareness, the next conscious trade. And that's enough. Because now, you're not trading to escape yourself. You're trading to meet yourself. Fully. Finally. Forever. So that was a glimpse into the hidden side of trading, where charts end and your mind begins. If this message made you pause, reflect, or even just feel seen, then it's done its job. Remember, real trading mastery starts within, and the biggest battles are the ones no one else can see. If you found value in this video, do take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because this journey is tough, and no trader should have to walk it alone. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one, and until then, trade with awareness, not just with strategies.